Well, hello and welcome back to the Unmasked podcast. Today, of all days, we have got a good friend of mine and a girl that is very close to my heart. We have had so many fun times together. We're about to tell you all about it. Not only that, she's become so successful over the past few years, and I can't believe what this girl is doing. It is, of course, my fellow Essex bird, Georgia Harrison.
Woo!
No, with that, Essex. Is it Georgia Harrison? No, that you say it?
Georgia Harrison.
Georgia Harrison. Oh, I'm really bad. It's really hard to say.
Georgia Harrison.
Georgia Harrison.
Yeah,
right.
that was
you
good.
Got a vibe. Now I'm in the lingo.
Yeah.
Can you believe I live in Essex now?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this is where you belong.
I love it down
Yeah, do you?
here. Absolutely love it. The only thing I'd say about living down here is it's like not you, but like when I'm going to when I'm just going to do me errands, the girls are so different. I really struggle, Georgia. Really struggle, yeah. Because in Newcastle, the girls are friendly, but by God, when I'm in them salons, they're bitching that goes on.
Yeah.
I can't keep up. I don't know anyone who they're talking about.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only thing I'd say I do struggle with is meeting other girls down here.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got you.
Yeah.
I've got all the other girls, but yeah, it's a really good place to live. You're close to London.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on, but I do miss the Geordies.
I bet. Well, the thing is, I've got my solid group of friends here anyway because I grew up around here. But
Yeah.
I feel like Geordie girls are actually a different kettle of fish. And I always
are
say,
different breed.
I've never, especially in our industry, there can be so many different characters, different egos, and you don't always gel with that many people. And I always say I've never ever met one of the Geordie Shore girls that I thought dickhead.
Nah.
I've always felt so comfortable.
Yeah, we've all been close to you.
Yeah,
we've all been,
always.
Yeah,
For
we've all
almost
got on.
10 years now, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, we've
but
all been in the same world.
you guys are overly friendly, so
We
I can
are.
imagine it's probably a bit of a contrast being down here.
It is, but I'm getting to terms with it all, and I'm enjoying it down here a lot more than Newcastle. That's the only thing. If I could do anything, it would be having me day ones.
Yeah, down here. Marnie's down here, isn't she?
Marnie's down here, which is about an hour away. So we do see of each other, but not as much as what I'd like. But what I want to know, because guests that I've had on here are mostly my friends, and what I think is quite sad is the people that I'm getting on here have been my friends for years and years, but I don't really know much about their childhood or growing up.
Yeah.
Which is mental, because some friends that you meet later on in life, they are your friends and you know them from that point in your life.
Yeah.
Compared to your old friends, and I've known you a long time.
Yeah.
So what I want to know is, go back to Georgia, growing up in Redbridge. Redbridge. That's it? Redbridge?
Was it Redbridge? Is that where I grew up?
Where did you grow up?
In Loughton, in Essex.
Is that the county? Oh, wait there, because what's my county? Am I Redbridge? No, I'm not.
I
think I'm Upminster.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, so you grew up in Loughton.
Yeah.
Talk us through growing up. Are you the only child? What was like growing up in Essex? Did you want to be where you are today? How did all that come about?
Yeah, so my mum and dad split up when I was 2, and I was an only child within that family unit.
Yeah.
But it was for the best, they weren't gelling at that stage in their life. They'd been together for 10 years prior to that. And I think as I got older, I sort of started realising the benefits of it. You get a lot more presents at Christmas.
Yeah, you get
2 Christmases. You get a lot more attention. And I was pretty much brought up as an only child between my mum and dad until the age of 10, when my brothers and sisters started getting born.
Right.
And then my half brothers and sisters with my stepmom and my dad. So to me, I'm an only child, but also a sibling. I sort of got the best of both worlds. I've got the brothers and sisters, but they weren't about to steal my shit and that.
Yeah,
growing
no,
up,
you didn't want that, nah.
Yeah,
nah.
no.
See, I had a brother growing up, Leon, and me and Leon were close. But when we were younger, I hated his guts, and I always wanted to be the only child.
Yeah.
And then when he came along, it was a bit like, oh, there's someone else I've got to share with now.
Yeah.
So I love my brother, but being an only child, I wouldn't have minded it.
It definitely has its benefits. And I was spoiled by my mum, but I was always a really loud child. I would just run in the room, just always wanted to be the centre of attention. I loved drama in school.
Did you?
Yeah, I was always the main role in the plays and stuff like that. but it got me in trouble as well, like being so loud. Like I just wanted to be popular, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I love school.
Yeah.
I really did enjoy it. After school, did you go to like college, uni or anything like that?
No.
What were you doing after school?
I went straight to work. I went to work in an office, literally. At like 15, I was doing work experience. You know when you get to do like apprenticeships?
Yeah.
And they loved me in there, so they ended up bringing me on to work full time after I finished work at school. And I'd done that for a little bit, and then I thought that was long. So I quit, and I was a shop girl for ages.
Stop.
Yeah, I was
Where
a
at?
shop girl in Lineker's for a bit.
No, you
Yeah, I was hired by the Wayne Lineker himself.
Woo! So Wayne Lineker used to pay your check.
Yeah, he used to pay my bills at one
bills.
point. Yeah, because like Wayne knows my dad, so my dad got me a job there.
Where was Lineker's?
Lineker's in Ibiza.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So you just got a flight out there to Ibiza.
Just
and
got
that
a flight
was you?
out there on a whim, moved in with girls I didn't even know, and I was doing shotgun in there. But I
How
eventually.
old were you at this point?
How was what?
How old were you?
I was like 18. Or was I
Brilliant.
19? I think I was 19.
Brilliant.
By that age. And at 18, I was working in Marbella, still doing the same sort of work, but I was a promo girl for Scintillate.
Yeah.
So I'd have to stand outside and go, "You're right, do you want to come in the club?"
I've just been to a Scintillate brunch.
Yeah,
for my
they
birthday.
still do them now.
Yeah.
And who was there? So it was like, do you know like Scott Thomas and Ross
Yes.
Waswick?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes. Back in the day, what was that? 195 club. And
Yeah,
Faces and
but
back
they
in the day.
actually used to promote in Marbella as well.
Right.
So I think that opened a lot of doors for me for getting in the reality TV scene, even though
Yeah.
it was well before I did.
Yeah.
It was like getting a lot of the people that worked out in Marbella doing the promo work ended up on like X on the Beach or on some sort of TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was so you've been working abroad.
Yeah.
Been doing your thing. And then at what point did you go on Towie? Because Towie had been on for quite a long time. Like when I started Geordie, I think Towie had only did one series.
Yeah.
So that was like one of the first reality TV shows. And
Yeah.
then you obviously had The Long Goodger, Mark Wright, and you've got Sam Fit, all the OGs. When did you come on? What series and how old were you then?
I don't know what series it was. I should know that really.
Yeah.
I was 19. So next month it's going to be 10 years since I've been working in television,
hell.
which is like mad.
Doesn't it fly?
Flies. Like,
Mental.
it literally flies by. And like to think how scared and like unexperienced I was of like
Yeah.
a camera back then. It honestly, it takes a lot.
Do you not think going into TV at 19 without a clue, would you not have preferred it then? Because I do, compared to now. Because when you're going in, when you're that young, you've got no clue.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's so much more raw and real. Like TV back in the day
Yeah.
was so much better, I think,
Yeah.
than what it is now.
Yeah,
Like,
it was less censored.
Yeah, like less censored. And I think now there's just like, there's a lot of restrictions and rules and all that, which I get because a lot of things have happened. But back
Yeah.
then, you had free reign.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like, oh, they're coming at you and they'd say, oh, can you have a conversation with so-and-so about this?
Yeah.
It was free. And was Towie like that when you first went on?
Yeah, I mean it was, but also the difference between Towie and like Geordie Shore is like you have an element of cameras all the time on
Yeah,
Geordie
that's
Shore,
true.
whereas in Towie the camera always came
Set
towards
up,
you
yeah.
at a certain time, and I think now I wouldn't care about that. I'd just be like, oh, cameras, get into it. But back then, where I hadn't had any experience in front of cameras before, that can make you sort of like hyper alert and
Yeah.
sort of like overthink what you're doing, and you're like, oh, it's there, the
Yeah,
camera's there. Oh, are we filming now?
Yeah,
Do you know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
But then I went on Love Island, and that's when I was just like, I got really used to a camera, and I just thrived. And
Yeah.
I think you have more of an opportunity to do that on like Geordie Shore and
Course,
these shows
yeah,
where
it
you're
is
filmed all
different,
the
yeah.
time.
So with Towie, right, because obviously, unless you didn't know, I'm actually on Towie
I
now.
know.
What the fuck? I still can't believe it. Like, what
So
am I
Liberty,
doing?
do you think they'll have me on Geordie Shore?
Well, I hope so. I think you're
I
probably
forget
more
that.
Geordie
I want to
than
get my
me.
claws into Made in Chelsea,
No.
boy. I'll go over
Oh,
there.
yeah, you like one of them,
Yeah,
don't you?
I wanna live it
But
up.
yeah, so I've started to do Towie now. That is a different kettle of fish, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
being involved in that kind of show is so different to Geordie.
Yeah.
And think, like, I'm obviously not a full cast member. I never will be. It's not my type, not my show. Geordie's mine. But obviously I'm there for Jordan and we do scenes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it can get really, really bitchy sometimes.
Yeah.
And like sometimes Jordan's getting caught up in it, and I have to say to him, like, look, you've got to remember that's TV world. Like,
Yeah.
your real life is here. So when you want Towie, like, think like when there was drama or there was arguments happening, like, how on earth did you cope? How?
It was really tough, you
Mm.
know. It was like probably one of the hardest shows I've ever done. And, you know, I've had to do things where I've got to jump off of monster trucks at 30 miles an hour in the middle of the Namibian desert.
Fuck that.
It was like, it's just, the way it's filmed as well, because you don't know what's been said about you, but it's shown each week, isn't it? All day, you're waiting for it to come on, and it's like, it's coming on in half hour, and you're thinking, what's everyone going to have said about me? And then people are talking about you, but you can't fire back until you get back to your next scene.
Yeah.
So then you're sitting there for days burning, like, and you just want to ring them up and go, oh yeah, but you can't. But you can't. But, you know, it's also really fun, and like for some, you know, when you're young, you love the drama a bit at that age.
Of course you do.
But now I just like an easy life, and I'd struggle with it. But yeah, I think it's just, you got to just not get that caught up in it. You got to remember that it is all just a bit for the show, but it's definitely surrounded by a very dramatic, high energy, and I've not really experienced many shows like that.
Yeah, I agree.
So I did find it very nerve-wracking all of the time, but then also, like, there was times where I loved it.
Yeah,
there was times where I loved it, and everyone would have a right laugh. You go abroad, you're with big characters. Like, I was on it when Gemma Collins was on it. Do you know what I mean?
Oh my God, brilliant!
Yeah, it was Gemma Collins, Bobby Norris, Vass Morgan. Yeah, like I was around legends.
Yeah. Good cast.
I love Gemma. You know, you've got to have a thick skin to be in the presence of Gemma Collins for a long amount of time. But I think she's just absolutely brilliant. I think she's hilarious, and I think she's very soft as well, deep down. Like, you know, the GC is her persona, but like really, she's someone who cares about other people.
Living legend. Now, if Towie came up to you now and said, "Look, Georgia, I want you back," would you do it?
No.
You wouldn't?
Never.
What about if I was there?
No.
Nah. Done.
I just wouldn't. Yeah.
Why is that then?
I just think I'd be a pointless character in there. I'd be so pointless. Like I think unless you're in a relationship, you know, it's really tough. And I've been on there as like a single girl before, and that leaves you with the only thing to film for is the drama, like you said.
True.
So like I would look at like Tommy and George or something, and I think, do you know what? If I had it like them, I'd probably have quite an easy ride. You know,
you've got
on Wednesday you're having a nice dinner, and then the next day you're with your nan and you're talking about wedding rings, and there's me just getting slagged off by everyone, and I'm like. So yeah, for me, it would never make sense now. And I want to be like a presenter. I want to sort of.
It's a different.
I'm too old. Everyone's younger.
I mean, it's probably helped you get the profile. That's the thing with these shows. They do help you raise your profile.
It made me who I am.
Yeah, to give you, you know, you can help it with your profile. You can do whatever you want with your profile, jobs, business. That does help.
Yeah.
But I believe you've got to be very good at what you do. You've got to be nice to people.
Yeah.
You've got to be just a really good character all yourself. So you've went to Towie. Then after Towie, this is, I can't believe, when I watched Love Island, you were in Love Island.
Yeah.
Now, Love Island, everyone watches Love Island.
Yeah.
People love to know about Love Island. So what was the Love Island experience like?
I mean, one thing, John, I didn't even realise about Love Island, when I was at the ITV Palooza the other day, they said it had 300 million streams on the ITVX player. It was the most streamed thing.
Your series?
Well, just Love Island in general.
Wow.
But I just thought that is absurd when you think that I was involved in something like that. And I found it just the best experience of my life. But you have to remember, right, I went in as a bombshell.
Yeah.
Final 2 weeks, and I remember, like, first of all, it's all really changed now.
Yeah.
But back in the day, there was like no quarantine period or anything. They would tell you you've got it, and you're like, yeah, I'm going on the biggest show ever. And then you get a call to say, actually, you're a bombshell, right? You got it, but you're a bombshell.
Yeah.
And you're all still a bit gassed for it, but you never know when you're going in. So when you're a bombshell,
so you're sitting there waiting.
You're waiting all the time. You're watching it. You've got the bags packed in the corner of the room,
and
all
you're
nicely.
all ready. Yeah, you've got all your gorgeous outfits.
Yeah, everything ready to go. And like every week you're watching it, and all the fit boys are in there, and you're thinking, oh, I fancy him.
So did you look already and think, right, I know
yeah, like I said from the start that I fancied Ken, right?
Right.
But obviously by the time I got in there, he'd really flourished with Amber.
Yeah.
So I massively missed the boat then, but they still brought me in as someone who would potentially, they knew I would pick Kem if I had to pick anyone, because I'd said from the start, like, he was my type. But I loved the experience, and I think, one, it's because I was only in there for a couple of weeks, so I didn't have the amount of time to be like, oh, I'm getting bored of this.
Short and sweet,
for me, I was just so grateful, and I got 800,000 followers from a 2-week stint.
Shut up, no you didn't.
To 800,000, yeah.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Oh
like,
my God, that was when it was peak though. That must have been the peak time.
Well,
because now it's different.
Yeah.
Some of them, I don't see them growing followers like that now.
There's a big difference. The first difference is they ban anyone doing social media posts.
What do you think about that then?
Well, When someone first told me it, I was like rubbing my hands.
No, because it's funny
none
you
of
say
you are
this.
ever catching me up now.
It's funny you say this because people like us, like who are in the industry,
Yeah.
we know, right? When the new Love Island people come along, we think, fucking hell, yeah, we'll go get more competition.
Yeah.
They're gonna get everything. They're gonna be everywhere. So when this happened,
I was doing the can in the living room. I was like,
getting more spawns for me.
Yeah, that's what I
But
thought.
it's funny. But yeah, like obviously back in the day, you know, you got Molly May, you and everyone else who did it. It was probably the best time, and you got so much from it. So when you came out of Love Island, did that just change your life?
I mean, like for one, I came out with Sam. We were still coupled up.
Yeah.
And it was right near the end of the final. So I think that's why my followers went up so much. One, because I was in a good position. But two, if you leave with someone, they want to see how you're getting on. If you leave on your own and you're sitting at home having a cup of tea and a biscuit, no one cares. You know what I mean?
So what happened then? Did you and Sam have a romance in the end?
Yeah, like a little bit after.
Remember.
But yeah, he weren't really like for me. But I remember just getting out and me and him got our phones back and we were just refreshing it. And every time you refresh it, it's gone up by like 40,000, 50,000. And you're just like, I cannot believe the extent of how fast this is going up. It's like, you know, when you do a post and you refresh it to see the likes going up. It's like that, but with followers. And
now I'm like, whoop, one more.
Yeah.
I'm like buzzing.
But I remember like one of the producers, Lewis, looking at me and saying, this is when you still don't really know quite how much your life's changed. We were on a sunbed in the dumping villa and he said to me, you know, George, you definitely, because I was hoping to buy my flat that I was living in, and he went,
is that the one that I went to?
Yeah, that's the one you went to. And he went, you're definitely going to buy your flat, you know. And I was like, no, I was only in there for 2 weeks. He went, you wait and see.
Before you
you're
went in,
following and how much work you're going to get. I can guarantee you, give it 2 months, you're going to have bought that flat. And I did. I come straight out and I bought it.
Shut up. So before you went in, were you really skinned? Was it hard?
Yeah, like I wasn't skin, but I didn't have a lot of money. I was working in an office, 9 to 5. I wish actually it was an 8 till 6. I was actually working 2 jobs, so I'd work in the office all week, and then on a Friday night after I worked in the office, I'd go work in this horrific rock bar from like 9 at night till 4 in the morning, and all these punk rockers would come in like, and I'd just be sitting there, and like my mate covered my shift once, and she cried the whole way because it was that bad. But for me, I would just sit there and I'd be manifesting the whole time. I'd have a little manifestation book.
Really?
Yeah, and I'd be writing and imagining where my life's going to go, and I wouldn't take in the punk rockers or, you know, any of the stress.
Tell us what was on there. Did you used to write it down? What was on there?
Yeah, I used to just, honestly, I would manifest that I wanted to be an influencer. I wanted to get all free stuff because I've been on Towie. I got close to it, but I weren't there yet. And I just knew that life wasn't for me. So I would just be journaling where I wanted to go, and I wouldn't pay any attention to where I was at, like, because I could either be the person sitting there crying in the chair or the person bringing something better to my life. And I just refused to let myself be consumed by my current situation.
Brilliant. Absolutely mental. So then you've came out of Love Island. Life has gone crazy. What was the step after that? Like, where did that go from there? Like, where were you at?
Just living like a rock star, so
no,
I was like
I was
a rock star, mate. I was going one PA to another. I've been in Scotland doing a PA. I've been Edinburgh. I'm getting paid like $2,000 a PA.
Can we just talk about the PA era? How brilliant was that?
Loved it.
It
was, they don't get that now, the Love Islanders. You know that.
As well. I used to get cash.
Yeah,
and it was just, I used to obviously blow all the cash. Like, it never used to go in my bank because I used to blow it all.
Yeah.
Because I was just so young. But we used to turn up, Geordie Shore and Towie in Love Island. It was such a thing, wasn't it? These PAs. Go around the whole of the UK. I go to petrol stations now and I'm like, I've been to this petrol station before. I've been here. So we used to do all these PAs and all these clubs. Yeah. Go to the PAs, get $1,000, $2,000 for 1 hour and walk out.
That's what I mean.
That was it.
Well, no, I didn't for an hour. All the people always said in the venues, I'm the only person they know that gets paid to go there for an hour and is still there when the cleaner comes in.
I bet you're sitting chatting to the managers.
I just loved the fans. I loved the attention. You get on the stage and it was like you had a real talent, but you didn't. They'd be screaming your frying sambuca in their mouth.
I remember Charlotte used to crowd surf. She used to actually crowd surf, like, because they loved her that much. She used to jump into the crowd like that. Honestly, these videos have gone viral. I wasn't game enough for that.
I need to see people I would have seen.
People would depart, you know, like Noah's Ark, where they just go like that. If I jumped in, I'd go flat. Nobody would have catched me. I remember as well, I used to do these PAs, right, with these. I used to do, like, under 18s ones. They were a bit, like, they could get a bit funny then because they've all gone through puberty. And we used to do these under 18s ones, and like you used to stand there, get photos with the kids, and they used to be like grabbing bums.
Yeah.
They used to be grabbing your bums, used to be like that, and they used to always put the hand there. I mean, they're getting excited, let them, do you know what I mean? They're going through the puberty. And I used to go home every night. I always remember this so well. I used to go home every night and be like, what does that smell? And like, smell my shoulder, and because obviously the young kids were going through, bit BO on the shoulder every single night. I always remember, because you used to always put the arm around us as well. I'm only short. I used to go home with BO at the under 18s. But I tell you who did love the PAs, the boys of Geordie Shore.
Yeah.
Because they used to go there, meet the girls, not the under 18s, the normal one. Used to go there, meet the girls, and have the best time with all the girls. And
I mean, boys generally got them more than girls, didn't they? But we still did. But from what I know, like hardly any Love Islanders, it's not a thing anymore. Like it's COVID completely ruined that. Yeah. And what a great experience that was to have, you know. I loved it.
Absolutely brilliant.
Have you ever got to one and no one's turned up?
Oh my God.
I've got to one for Georgia Harrison. They paid me a fortune to be there. I walk in, there's two people. And then they still make me get on the stage. I go, hello everybody. It's literally
I remember we got picked up by a limousine. When you know the limousines come, you know it's going to be a bit of a dodgy club. Do you know what I mean? Like they go all out for you, don't they, as well? And I always knew by the hotels as well that they put us in. I always knew what kind of event it was going to be.
This was a bad one.
Yeah. Yes, I remember I used to go to the pubs. Sometimes there were pubs, there was like a little, just one DJ there. And there was like 4 people, but you know what I used to do? I used to turn the flash off my phone and record it, because it made the room look busier. See that no one was in there. Because it made the room look busier.
I used to have to do selfies. There's no way of making that room look busier.
What a time it was. What a time. So then obviously going on all the different shows that you've done, let's talk about one that we did together, X on the Beach.
Blinder.
Now, we did X on the Beach together, and I think I heard of you going on. I think I heard you, Ellie, Joey, Mike. It was just
Letitia. I
thought it was a brilliant series.
No, it really was.
The casting, honestly, was it? Like I was like, oh my God, these are actually really, really good.
And
names.
It was long when it was like 6 weeks, because they've just filmed another one and it's only 2 weeks long.
6 weeks. Yeah, we were there. Yeah, you're right. And I came in a bit later on.
Yeah,
but you were already there.
Yeah.
Who was your ex? Did you get any?
You know who my ex
was. Yeah. But
because you ended up with him.
It's really bad.
But you know what the thing was? Bless him, and love you, Ash. Shout out. But I'd only been on like one date with him.
Yeah.
But it was during the process that I'd been interviewing for like X. So obviously I'd mentioned it to him. But when he first come out of the water, I was a bit like, is that one mine, innit? I was like, is that one mine?
Can you remember when I was going, I was like, oh my God, Jay, I was like, I need a boy. Because I never got any exes.
Yeah.
Right? Because some of them are wrong and some of them have got criminal records.
Yeah,
whatever.
most couldn't pass the CRB.
Yeah, they couldn't pass anything like that. So I was like, oh my God, no one's going to come for me. And I was like, I just want this lovely story. Like, I want to meet someone. I said to you, please, Georgia, you must have an Essex boy. And you were like, well, I know this one. Anyways, we'll get to the beach, didn't we?
Yeah.
And what did we say to each other?
We had like a deal. We said, look, if someone's ex comes out and they're happy for someone else to give him a shot, we'll make a noise like, and bless him, he's just got in and he's shaking like a leaf. He's all nervous. It's his first TV stint. And he's sitting there, and then out of nowhere, I made peace with it, and I thought, do you know what? She can have him. And I just went, and he just looked at me like it was completely normal. He just carried on like that's something that I would just do in my everyday life. I was just almost offended that there was no
bat an eyelid.
No adverse reaction.
Yeah, and then I mean when we were in there. It did sort of progress with me and him. Like we did have
He's a lovely boy as well.
He's a lovely boy.
Knows how to look after a girl. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he did.
Bought you a few presents.
Yeah, I mean, he bought us a Rolex.
I didn't know if to say it or not.
Oh yeah, no, I was telling Jordan it last night. I was like, I was with this boy once, and he did buy us a Rolex for my birthday, but I finished him the day after. I was like, it just wasn't for me. And he was like, really? I was like, yeah. The story didn't really go down well because you just sort of pushed it off. And I was like, do you not want to ask more questions? In my head, he was like, cool. And I was like, oh, you're from Essex? I was like, oh, this Essex boy. Anyways, he was a lovely boy. He was. So you on X on the Beach, didn't you date Miles?
Oh, no. We went on like one date on the show, didn't we?
Can you remember when I went on a date with him and I fell as I was walking?
You fell over, yeah, and I Oh, I don't know.
What about who played the guitar?
Oh, because you don't know how it feels. You don't know how it feels. Oh, he was so sweet.
He was an angel,
Yeah.
bless him. Yeah, we had a great time. I really thought that experience was one of the best experiences I've had on TV shows.
Joey and Lorena.
Oh my God, Joey and Lorena. But let's move on to another show that you did, which was The Challenge.
Yeah.
And I know that holds a very special place in your heart, The Challenge, doesn't it? How many series you done? Because we were talking to Danny, she was researching, she was like, what happens in The Challenge? And I was like, it is mental, brutal.
It's mental. And like, I'm so surprised it doesn't have a big fan base in the UK, because for me, the format of it, everything about it is just absolutely out of this world. So it's like, it starts off with about 30 of you. And basically, you have to do all of these crazy group challenges. And then the loser, so say, sometimes you'll be partnered up usually. So I was partnered up with a guy on my first one. If you lose, you then have to do what's called an elimination. And you basically get thrown in a pit, like in the Roman Empire. Everyone's around you and there's like fire and they're like shaking the things and watching you. And you have to call out someone else who's also not one of the winners. And you have to have like a head-to-head battle or a fight or like, you know, they give you a gum shield and a helmet and just make you like fight
and
each other in a
pit.
Real
as well. It's
no,
not like
it's
20
real.
seconds.
It's
like...
real. And I had to do that in my first week. My partner was like, you know, you got to wrestle, Georgia. And I was like, I'm an Instagram model.
I'm an influencer.
I was like, my face is my money maker. Like, but anyway, eventually the winners get $1 million, right?
Wow.
So it is proper head to head, but people fall in love on there. Like, there's a lot of drama because obviously at the end of the day, there's a lot of money on the line, but all of it's more about game tactics. It's not so personal.
Yeah.
You know, whereas Towie's more like bringing up things of your like life and stuff, whereas this is more just about the money.
So do you need to be really fit to be in that? Because when I think the challenge, I think I could never do it because I'm such a lazy bitch and I'm not competitive. Like if I was getting chased off a dinosaur, I'd let it eat us because I just can't be arsed. But do you really need to be like, just can't be arsed. Oh, Tyrannosaurus Rex, fuck off, just eat us.
Take me.
Just take us. But do you need to be like really fit for that?
You do really, yeah, because once you get to the final, it can be like a marathon across the desert sort of thing. Like, I passed out from heat exhaustion in my first one in the middle of the desert. Like, my kidneys were failing.
Stop.
Like, apparently people were going past me and I was eating sand, being sick. Like, I proper lost it. Yeah, because I was so dehydrated. Yeah, apparently I was like crawling, eating sand because I was just gone completely and utterly, like heat stroked out.
What happens in that then? Did the producers run in and give you
Well, in the end, an ambulance got me and I got taken to hospital.
Fuck
yeah,
off,
like there's like videos of me standing up and suddenly I just pass out. And
Is that all on camera as well?
All on camera, yeah. But you only have GoPros until production gets you. So, you know, you could be left in the desert for a long period of time before anyone knows that you've even gone down.
Oh my God, that is challenging.
And it is really, really dangerous, but I loved the thrill of it.
Yeah, you are like that, aren't you?
Yeah.
You like them. You love a challenge.
Yeah, and like, you know, we had the stuntman from Mad Max on our first one. We was doing things that were just amazing, like the visuals, the amount of money that goes into the show, like, and Americans are fun. Like, it's just so much fun. And for anyone that hasn't watched it,
you met so many people, didn't you? And you went out to America, didn't you, for a bit?
I got a big American following now as well. You know, if I go to LA, all people come over and ask for pictures of me. They're like, oh my God, it's Georgia off the challenge.
Weren't you on like the big screens in America?
Yeah, Times Square. They put me on the side of Times Square.
Oh my God, so you are actually big time.
I mean, no.
Fucking hell, Georgia. America.
No, I'm not really.
That is brilliant though. So who won? Who won it that you?
So the only person you would know of in my first series that won some money was Theo. So Theo came second, but there was the million was split between first, second, and third. So he won 200 grand, no tax on it.
Brilliant.
Like literally, you just go home there and then 200 grand, and you get paid good money to do it as well. You get paid weekly, and it's a decent wage.
Yeah, and I mean, if you've got American following as well. Would you ever go to America then and start like a new life and career?
Yeah, I'd love to. Like it is on my dream board. Yeah. But, like, I don't know if that dream's slipped away, only because my career's picked up so much in the UK. To walk away from that now would be really hard. But when I'm in the US, I feel like that's where I'm meant to be.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's just because everyone blows smoke up your ass out there.
Brilliant, but I love it there. I love it. Did you hear what happened to me recently?
No.
So I booked a holiday to Vegas with me and Jordan for my birthday and went to fill in an ESTA and got declined.
Why?
Because I got a visa years ago. Now, I don't know what's on the history when I was younger. I don't know. But I got a visa a couple of years ago, went to America, loved it. And I was like, oh, I'll be able to get back into the country. So I filled out this ESTA and it came back declined, and I couldn't get a visa in time to like go to the embassy, so I couldn't go. But America, I love it. I absolutely love it out there, but I just can't get
You
in.
might have to fly to Mexico and walk across the border.
Criminal. But yeah, I'd love to go. So that is like all the TV stuff. Then
Sorry you're going through that.
Yeah,
Sorry you're banned from America, man.
So now, like, your life has just gone absolutely nuts, hasn't it? Like,
Yeah.
obviously, a lot of things happen. Like, let's not talk about all that happened, because we don't want to with him. But you have now got a book.
Yeah.
Now I heard that you want to be MP.
Yeah, well, I'm being really invited into the world of politics in so many different
I wouldn't
manners.
know where the fuck to start.
Yeah,
Like, when
it's
people
weird.
go on about Conservatives in Parliament
Yeah.
and Labour, I'm like, it's really bad, but I'm just so uneducated. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, most people our age don't, and
Yeah.
I didn't either until obviously all of this sort of come about, and I've had to educate myself about it. But I just think, you know, there's a general election due. It has to be by January 2025. So it's a really big year for politics. So I'm definitely going to continue in the world of politics, and it's something I'm really, really interested in. And I've got a lot of big things coming up in terms of politics, and like there's lots of huge political leaders that have asked me to have a sit down with them to speak about violence against women and girls. Yeah, but that's what, like, for me, sometimes I even get like imposter syndrome, a bit like, why am I doing this? Like, why am I this voice for like all of these women? But since I've been on the spiritual retreat in Costa Rica, I really connected with my higher self and my inner being, and I got shown that I'm meant to be someone on this earth that helps raise the consciousness of the divine feminine, and I'm meant to empower women. And like, even though sometimes it can feel a bit strange and a bit like undeserving at times of having these conversations, that is my purpose, and I have to step into it.
And you've got the platform to do that.
Yeah, and sometimes I'd rather just like lay in bed with a bag of fucking crisps, watching maths. I really would just love to do that. I don't want to have to be standing in Downing Street.
But listen,
like,
this
do you know what I
last
mean? But
forever, you've got to remember this, G. Like,
no,
it's not gonna be
exactly.
forever.
And
like,
deep down, I want to do it.
Yeah,
and it means a lot to me. But sometimes people can be like, "Oh, there she is, like milking it again, speaking about this same situation." But I'm like, you know, I'm only stepping into what I think is the right thing to do for humanity. That's actually why I'm doing it. I'm not doing it for myself.
Exactly. And I think with you, people can relate. It's not like you're just walking into this place where, you know, sometimes we'll look at people in Parliament and we think, you ain't got a clue. Like, you're not one of us.
Yeah.
But you are one of us. So if we can look at you and think, you know what, Georgia is one of the girls. She likes to do what we want to do. And if you can have a voice do that, I think it's more empowering and relatable, someone like you, rather than, you know, just someone who hasn't really understood, hasn't really been through it, just went to university, got the degree.
Yeah.
That is more empowering, I think. So talk us through now, obviously you're empowering and helping other women. You've got your book out.
Yeah.
Got that.
Yeah,
I'm going to read it as soon as I go to Barbados.
Yeah.
So tell us about the book and what made you want to do it, and how did that go about then, and what's in it that people would want to read?
I mean, honestly, it was the production company that came to me regarding the book. And they just wanted me to sort of cover what I've been through in the last couple of years. Obviously, I had a tough year, you know, couple of years. Yeah, my best friend passed away, then my ex did, then I had the court case. And I think they felt that having more details of the court case is really important for this period in my life. Like, to help raise awareness, and also to go into details that the documentary didn't have time to cover. And mainly for me, I was like, look, I don't want this to just be like clickbait. Like, I don't want this just to be like a horror story about, oh wow, I can't believe that happened. I wanted it to be a movement for hope and inspiration, and I wanted it to be something that anyone going through a tough time, whether that be losing a friend, breaking up with a boyfriend, you know, going through image-based sexual abuse, I wanted them to sort of get the essence of hope and connection with the universe I had throughout my journey, to somehow try and instill that into them and help guide them through anything they're going through. Because, you know, when you can relate to someone who's overcome something, it's like the 1 minute mile, you know, you believe you can do it yourself.
I think it helps you. Because when, say if I've went through a breakup, I went through like horrendous breakups. Yeah. I was looking for like clarity. I was looking for clarity. I'd go on TikTok. Yeah. And I'd look for just someone to say it was going to be okay. Yeah, and it'd all come up, all my algorithm was that. Or I'd speak to someone about a breakup and I'd be like, how are you with your breakup? What happened there? Like, I just wanted this sort of, it's going to be all right. And if you can do that in the book as well, like, people can relate to it. And you've also got, is it audiobook as well?
Yeah, audiobook.
Love that.
Yeah, all in my voice.
That's like a big podcast, really, isn't it?
Yeah, very long. I had to read it. Took 2 days reading it out, and that was hard as well.
I'm like more of an audio girl. Like, I need to listen on my drives.
See, I can't because I won't take in anything.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, no. I have to read it, otherwise I won't listen.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, amazing. Well done for that.
Thank you.
I'm going to be reading it in Barbados when I go. So from that, now, talk us through now. What is the plan? Like, I know you're really into manifesting, and I know you're into like spirituality, which I am as well. Now, my mum always says to me, she's like, how do I manifest so? Like, how do I do it? Because I've did it. I've manifested my whole life. Yeah. What did I always used to say to you? I'm going to meet someone from Essex.
Yeah, you did. You always used to say it to me.
And I'm here.
Yeah.
I always wanted to do a podcast. Like, I did it. So for people that don't know about manifesting, if you can do it, like, manifesting for dummies, let's say. How would people do it?
So I think the main thing with manifesting is, like, we basically go off of a concept that everything works via energy, right? And what you give out, you get back. Yeah. So that's the reason, like, the reason that manifestation is, like, definitely real is everyone knows someone who's just really unlucky and things always go wrong for them, right?
Saying it all the time.
Yeah, and then you also know people that are really lucky. Like, it's ridiculous. Things just always fall into their lap. And it's about their psyche. It's about the way their brains are wired. And some people are born as natural manifestors and they tend to just do it automatically.
Yeah, without even thinking about it.
But not everyone is. Most people aren't. They're conditioned to believe that they don't deserve a higher life, or that if they were to
when
set,
you say
like,
this, I think of people straight away.
Yeah, like if they were to set bigger ambitions and goals for themselves, they don't believe that's possible. But all you have to do is open up your mind to the possibilities, and that's when you can manifest it. But manifestation isn't about a thought, it's about a feeling we emit. So everything in the world is vibration, it's frequency. Like, we're all made of the same things. We're made of the same thing as that table. Like, my thumb is made of the same thing as that table.
It's atoms, isn't it? And energy,
and if you break it down, everything is just vibrating. So when we're giving off a feeling, we're sending off like a huge energy transmitter throughout the universe, and it's giving us back what we feel about our life and what we believe we are and what we believe we want to become. So you can't just sit there and write a list of, I want more money, I want a relationship, because when you're doing it like that, you're like acknowledging that you don't have it. You can't acknowledge you don't have it. The best thing you can do is meditate, put yourself into a state of gratitude. So think about something in the past that's made you feel gratitude. A hug from your mum, a time you felt really proud of yourself, a time you had a lovely kiss that makes you feel good when you go back to that moment. And then once you're emitting that feeling of love, gratitude, pride, then you think about the things that you want in the future. You think of the new relationship, the new car, the new job. And whilst you're giving off that feeling, you then just change the picture of the memory to the picture of the future. And you align the feeling with the thought. And that is how you manifest. Brilliant. But you cannot manifest without the feeling. So it's just about getting the feeling first.
Getting your feeling there.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you've manifested all this?
I feel like I've manifested my entire life. But be specific, because like, it's crazy. But if you went back to my manifestations from a couple of years ago, it's like, I want my own documentary. I want to be doing talks in schools. I want to be an inspiration. I want to help young women. And I got everything I wanted, but in a way that unfortunately was a little bit traumatic to get there.
Of course, but you had to go through it.
But strangely, it gave me everything I wanted, but just in a way that maybe I didn't plan. But when I look back now, it was meant to happen to me.
It's unfortunate, but look where it's got you. Amazing.
And it's weird because I was with you, wasn't I? I met you in Dubai after it first happened. What was I like, crying face down on the table?
In a bad way.
Yeah.
In a bad way. I mean,
you were one of the first people to see me. Do you remember? Because I didn't have any friends out there.
It was broken. You were broken. But listen, you've said all that, but anyways, you don't need to go down that route.
Last night took a nail, but tonight I'll bounce back.
So what is next for you? What is on the manifestations?
I feel like this is going to be the most successful year of my life.
I'm not going to lie, I do agree.
Yeah.
I do agree.
I really see in my mind's eye huge success coming my way. I see a relationship coming my way. I feel like this is going to be my year to really get everything that I've always wanted. And I honestly feel like you're going to look back on this podcast in a year and I'm telling you now, this is my time. Like, I feel like I've always been a side part in everyone's fairy tale, and it's always been so amazing to be that side part, you know, like even on X on the Beach, everyone was falling in love, and I felt like it was still great to be a part of it, but I wanted to be the person who was getting that fairy tale. I wanted to be the person. And I honestly feel like next year is my time. Like this year was your time with Jordan.
Was the warm-up.
It was Charlotte's time right now. I'm watching her, I'm watching you, and I know for a fact I'm gonna be in that place next year. It's coming.
Because I even said to you on an event the other week, and I said to you, I went, look, if I can find it, and I was exactly like you, manifested this person. I used to sleep with rose quartz on my head. I've got photos of us
on Amazon.
I was lying in bed, and I said, sleep with the rose quartz on my head, going, please, come on, it's got to happen now. Send me some Essex sexy boy. And I was like, right, come on. I was like, it's 4 years now. Like, something's got to happen, because I'm sick of this shit, going through all these wrongings. And one day, went to an event, and there he was.
Just bang.
And I always say this, if someone said to me a year ago, you'd be living in Essex with the man of your dreams, planning a family, planning a baby, living in a house, like, I'd say fuck off, like absolutely not. I'd be like, I'm still gonna be going out and partying.
Yeah, because I remember you were losing hope around that time. It was really tough for you.
No, I actually lost hope. At one point, I thought, do I even want to be here? Like, it got really low, you know, because I thought I'm just never going to meet anyone. And life, it was like, because everything was all right in my life, I was looking for something else.
Yeah.
Life was good, and I just wanted that because I thought it would bring us happiness, which it did.
Yeah.
But then now I've got me happiness. I'm like looking, and then I'm like, right, I want a baby. Right, I want to settle down. Like, are we ever going to be happy?
No,
you know what I mean?
you're always going to want something more. But I think love is the most important thing in life.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you can have all the money in the world, all the friendship in the world, success, career. You could be the hottest girl on earth. But having that special someone elevates your consciousness like nothing else does.
But you know what? I think with you as well, like, everything that's happening is happened. Now, someone's only going to come into your life when you feel like you are fully, like, complete and ready. And I think after this year, I think next year, like you said, is going to be your year, because you're going to be like, I've been through the fucking mill. Like, I've been through everything. And now someone's going to come in at the right time.
Yeah.
And next year could be...
I'm looking for something. I've been doing a lot of... You watch all that TikToks and stuff. I've been doing a lot of relationship work. And, like, I've completely changed my list of what I'm looking for in a man. Like, I'm looking for someone now that's, like, patient.
I remember the old list.
Yeah, the old list. But the old list as well, it was always just, like, I liked boys wanting to be the centre of attention. I liked boys that were, like... You know, I've always liked men that don't show up for me and have a and like the one thing that I will need in my next partner is someone who is consistent, someone who loves me from the second they meet me, like is completely and utterly obsessed with me and doesn't waver in that consistency, because I can't bear someone that acts a certain way and then suddenly overnight they just change, you know, and I've had so much of that in the past. And that's the one thing I'm looking forward to having in my next relationship. It's going to be someone who loves me consistently and never wavers.
I mean, if that's
like Jordan does,
Yeah, and listen, if it happens to me, it can happen to anyone, and it will 100% happen to you.
Yeah.
So on that note, Georgia Harrison, you've been unmasked.
Thanks.
I love you.
Love you
are
too.
just, you've got that energy, haven't you, in the room?
Yeah.
So thank you everyone for watching. That is the amazing Georgia Harrison, and I hope you've all enjoyed this podcast. If you have, please like, subscribe, send it to every man and his dog. And yeah, hope you've enjoyed it. Please leave a comment. Thank you, en masse. See you later.